Good morning, everyone. I'm Jeanette Mejias, and I am the co-director of the New Jersey Family Engagement Hub. I'm excited to welcome you all today to our webinar, Surviving the Holiday Season. The holidays, as we know, is a time for joy, connection, and celebration, but they can also bring unique challenges, stress, overwhelm, and high expectations, just to name a few. Whether you're a parent juggling commitments, a student managing schoolwork alongside festive events, or an educator navigating the end of year rush, or a community leader perhaps supporting others, the holiday season can feel anything but calm. In today's session, it's about finding balance, embracing meaning, and creating space for what truly matters during the holidays. We're going to explore some strategies and how to reduce stress and prioritize your well being, which is so important, foster meaningful connections, navigate expectations, and celebrate inclusivity. Our goal really is to help equip you with tools and insights that make this time of year not survivable, but one that could be enjoyed and fulfilled. And now, over to Dr. Lanisha Mako Ridley.
Good morning, everyone. I am Jeanette's other half for the Hub. And so I would like to also welcome you here this morning. To tell you a little bit about myself, I am a mom of a 5-year-old son. His name is Brandon. And one of my favorite things to do is to read. And so, if you ever see me out and about, just ask me what book I'm reading because I will guarantee you 9 times out of 10, I have a book in my bag or in my pocketbook or in my back pocket. And now I turn it over to Kim to introduce herself.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Kim Rivers, and I am the training coordinator for New Jersey Family Engagement Hub. I am a wife. I am the mother of 3, no longer kids. I've got a 17-year-old, a 20-year-old, and a 23-year-old. And the holiday season is one that everyone looks forward to so much in the house. Time for enjoyment, time for sharing. But it also brings its challenges, which is why I am so glad that we are doing this. Welcome and thank you for joining us. And now I'm going to pass it over to Tara.
Hello, everyone. I'm Tara Semanik. I'm the Southern Regional Family Engagement Coordinator, and I am just so glad that you're all able to come and join us today. We are entering the holidays, and surviving is one of the trickiest parts. I have 3 special needs children, and meeting those needs can be really difficult during the holidays for everybody. So thank you for joining us, and maybe we'll learn some great tips and tricks. And I pass it to Faith.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Faith Victor, and I am the Northern Regional Family Engagement Specialist. Thank you for having us.
Good morning, everybody. My name is Alexis Pratt. I am the Community Engagement Specialist for the New Jersey Family Engagement Hub, and I hope you all enjoy today's webinar.
So let me tell you a little bit about the New Jersey Family Engagement Hub. Our hub is funded with grants from the U.S. Department of Education. We have now entered our 2nd year of funding, and this is our 5-year grant cycle, our first 5-year grant cycle. The hub is a centralized location for information about family engagement. We want to bring together educators, families, community-based organizations, and create collaborations and build bridges between those entities for the betterment of our students. Our ultimate goal is to create and enhance student success. And we're doing that by bringing these entities, these families, these community organizations, our educators together, and we're providing them with tools and strategies about how better to engage each other, how better to work with each other. So we're doing that through having in-person workshops, online webinar series like the one we're having right now. And we also want to empower our youth voice. It's important to know what our youth need in order to be successful. And so the hub is bringing all of these entities together, all of these audiences, all of these buckets, as I call them, together so that we can create student success in our schools throughout New Jersey. And now I'm going to turn it over to Kim to talk a little bit about SPAN.
So SPAN Parent Advocacy Network. We are the parent center for the state of New Jersey, and there is one of us in every state. We provide information, technical assistance, resources, and support for families. SPAN's vision is that all families will have the resources and support they need in order to ensure that their children become fully participating and continuing members of our communities and society. And what's our mission? It's to empower and to support families and inform and involve any professionals who are interested in the healthy development and education of children and youth. We have about 45 programs that cover everything from education, health, mental health, human services, childcare, child welfare, juvenile justice. We extend to over 40 national, regional, and local programs, and we're funded by government agencies, foundations, and fee-for-service contracts. So if you want to find out more about who we are and what we do, please visit our website at www.spanadvocacy.org. So now let's talk about New Jersey. We live in one of the most culturally diverse states, with vibrant communities representing a wide range of ethnic, religious, and cultural backgrounds. And this diversity is reflected in the way our holidays are celebrated, right? Everyone's got a different holiday depending on where they're from. So Christmas, of course, on the 25th, well, it's rooted in traditions that are Christian. It celebrates the birth of Christ. Families and communities share gifts, decorate trees, participate in festive gatherings. Then there's Hanukkah. That's a Jewish celebration honoring the rededication of the Second Temple in Jerusalem, marked by lighting the menorah, playing dreidel, and sharing traditional foods like latkes. Then there's Las Posadas. Now, this is a cherished Latino tradition where they reenact Mary and Joseph's search for shelter, and they have got nightly processions, songs, and festive gatherings. And then Kwanzaa. This is originally coming from the African American community, and this holiday celebrates cultural heritage and unity, focusing on the 7 principles such as self-determination and collective responsibility. But of course, there's many more other holidays throughout that are celebrated, such as St. Nicholas Day, St. Lucia's Day, the winter solstice, and they highlight the spirit of everyone's origins and inclusivity because residents from all backgrounds come together and share in joy and warmth of the holiday season. So, of course, someone that you know may not share the same religious origins or cultural origins that your family does, but in the spirit of inclusivity, please celebrate everyone's cultures, respect everyone's cultures so that we can come from all walks of life and share the joy and warmth of this season.
That was wonderful, Kim. Thank you. So, my question to the audience, how many of us feel like the holidays leave us more exhausted than refreshed? And I'm just going to pause for a minute and I'm curious to hear your thoughts. Oftentimes, as you go in, as you're typing in the chat, oftentimes, this time of year is supposed to be what? The most wonderful time of year, right? But oftentimes it does heightened demands, leaving very little room for rest. So I'm going to take a look at the chat and see if anyone can just share if the holidays make you feel exhausted or refreshed. Yes, they can be exhausting. Yes, absolutely. And it's a combination of both, right? So, so I think it's important, well, we think it's important that you need to manage, learn to manage. You know, many of us are juggling work, family, holiday logistics, all the things, right? But while that's all occurring, I want you to notice, start noticing what are the, and reflect, what are the signs of stress in you that you're observing, or maybe that you're observing in someone else. So this is the time to really just slow down and start defining those boundaries. Boundaries is set to protect your time, it's set to protect your energy, but most importantly, your emotional well being. I've always said, I am not going to put myself um, in a situation that I'm invited somewhere and I'm just checking off a box. Because if it's not going to protect me, or I'm going to feel a certain way and I'm going to regret it, then I have to protect my emotional well-being. And that's a good thing to do. And why does that matter? One, because it prevents burnout from saying yes to everything, especially for our educators who are managing school activities, for parents who are managing all the things, our community-based organizations who are in a serving space in the community. Um, and also, in defining those boundaries, you're reducing stress, um, trying to meet all these holiday expectations. And also, it promotes a healthier relationship by avoiding that overcommitment. I mean, who here has overcommitted to something already, right? Think about that. So let's talk about some practical strategies for setting those boundaries. I always say no is a full sentence. You don't have to give an explanation after that. And it's important to learn when to decline those extra holiday invitations or tasks that's going to make you feel overwhelmed. So if you know that you really shouldn't go because it's going to create this terrible ripple effect in getting in the way of your family time or your holiday shopping, whatever that looks like, the answer is no. Prioritize what matters. Focus on those meaningful traditions than trying to do it all, because you don't have to do it all. And create family only time. Schedule moments of connections, whether it's a family movie night, a game day, whatever that looks like for your family. And for our educators, set those work limits. Avoid checking those emails or doing the grading on your personal time, especially over the holidays. Communicate those boundaries with your colleagues, students, and families. Let them know what your availability is. And you should delegate your responsibilities. Share those tasks, especially for those school events or projects, with others. And the most important thing out of everything is ensuring that you're resting, um, ensuring that you have a good sleep schedule, and use downtime to do relaxing activities like reading, or if you meditate, or adult coloring. There's like a whole list of things that you can do, but it has to be something that that you enjoy doing. So, what might be some challenges, right? I mean, we're talking about setting these boundaries, but they also come with challenges. They also come with some resistance because we are not built. Sometimes some of us are not built to say no. Oh, I can't do that, right? So some of the things that may come up is that you don't want to disappoint anybody. Maybe this person has invited you multiple times and you just don't want to keep saying no. But again, you need to think about, what are you saying yes to? And also, there's a sense of guilt that you're taking time for yourself. Those are also some challenges that we might face. but recognize them and understand that you should never feel guilty in taking time for yourself. And also, very important that quality time spent rested is more impactful than overextending yourself. So now we're going to talk about some strategies to enjoy the holidays in a meaningful way. For students, you want to give back, participate in volunteer opportunities like food drives or community service projects so you can experience the joy of helping others. I always say that this is a heightened time of year. It does impact some folks' mental health, but the best way to combat depression or anything that's occurring in your mental health is to serve others. If you've never tried that, I challenge you. Actually, I don't want to challenge you. I want to invite you. I encourage you to experience that serving. Create traditions. Start some. Maybe you do a holiday book exchange. Maybe I know Dr. Lanisha Mako really would be excited for that. Or you do a craft night or a game day. Connect with your friends. Organize small get-togethers or virtual hangouts to celebrate together. Practice gratitude. If you don't have a journal, just grab a piece of paper. You don't need a journal. It doesn't have to be fancy. Reflect on the positive aspects of your year. Explore hobbies. Use that holiday break when you're off of school. Try something new. Maybe it's baking, maybe it's painting. Painting, you could do a painting activity, whether it's rocks, whether it's on paper. Um, Anything, as long as it's something new and fun. And for families, focus on togetherness. Plan those activities that bring everyone together, whether it's decorating, cooking, or taking a walk. Just bundle up and take a walk. They say the best way to address anything that's going on physically in your body is even if it's a 5 or 10 minute walk, take some deep breaths, and that will just change. It will just send a whole different message to your brain. Simplify your traditions. Prioritize meaningful customs and let go of those that are causing you stress or you feel it's an obligation or you're checking off a box. Create moments of reflection, share stories, memories, or goals for the coming year. I know for me, I love doing vision board with my family, and we just write what's our vision for the upcoming year? What do we want more of? What do we want to bring? And we just take old magazines, we cut and put pictures of what we want. It could be as outlandish as you want it to be. It doesn't matter. It's time for you to have that activity. There's nothing wrong what you're going to put on your vision board because it's your board. Involve everyone in your family to contribute in your holiday planning. Ensure that their voices are heard and part of what they want to do is accomplished. And for educators, plan lightheartedly because I find educators really go all out, especially during this time of year. But plan lighthearted. Holiday theme activities that still align with educational goals. Encourage students to express appreciation for their peers. What is it that they appreciate most about their peer? Um, Write a letter, doing art projects. Create a giving opportunity, lead a class or school initiative like collecting books or winter clothing for those who are in need. And make sure that you use that time to recharge personally and professionally. Because as you know, it's a very short window of time, but you want to be able to ensure that that self-care is within you so that you can enjoy your family time. And lastly, for our community-based organization, host those inclusive events, organize gatherings, multicultural fairs, open diverse community members to celebrate the season of being together. Provide those supports, offer resources or workshops to help families and individuals manage holiday challenges, such as budgeting or stress management. Encourage the volunteering. I spoke on that for the students, but create those opportunities for those individuals, whether it's individuals or groups, to give back. Maybe it's adopting a family, or organizing a community cleanup. And lastly, celebrate success. Reflect on shared stories of your community achievements because you're doing all so much, especially within this year and over the past year. Inspired that continued collaboration and how you can continue to keep spreading and growing in your community. And universal strategies is encouraged. Always be in full moments rather than focusing on that perfection. I hope that these strategies and tips were helpful. And at this time, I'm going to turn it over to Kim.
Thank you so much, Jeanette. And now that we've talked about surviving with our mental and emotional health, let's focus on what most people think of when we see the holiday season, and that's decorations. And decorations are beautiful, they're fantastic, they make us feel that joy and energy, but we have to really be thoughtful and safe. And so here are some practical strategies to make sure that we all survive this holiday season. And so when we think about decorations, we think about our Christmas trees, we think about our outdoor lights. Always remember to check your lights. Choose fire-resistant decorations wherever possible, flame-retardant materials, so that you're always making sure that there's not going to be any unforeseen accidents. Before putting in lights up, check them for any lights that may be damaged. Check for any frayed wires. Check your sockets. Make sure that everything is it's new or that it's secure. Because if you have any exposed wiring, again, that puts us at risk for electrical fires. Secure your tree decorations. Make sure your Christmas tree is anchored so they don't tip over, especially if you have young children or pets. Yes, pets, because as you know, kids will run and play and be around the tree and they bump into the tree and, glass ornaments can easily fall and break and then they're really tiny pieces. You got to be super careful whenever you have an ornament that breaks that you are not just sweeping, but then passing a wet cloth to pick up any of those tiny, fine bits of glass that can find their ways into people's feet. And then, yes, pets. Dogs may bump, but cats will jump. And we've all seen those videos online where there's a cat jumping into a Christmas tree and taking the whole thing down. So whatever you need to do to create a fencing or a barrier, think ahead because, of course, it would be a shame to have that beautiful tree come down in 5 minutes because the cat thinks it's an outdoor tree. Have a plan. Now, avoid overloading your outlets. Yes, we've got so many different lights in our home, and we're tempted to have that super long outlet, and we put all of them in the same place. Get a new surge protector, or make sure the surge protectors you do have or are using are capable of having all those different plugs in it so they don't overload. And be thoughtful about not plugging too many devices. Or if you use an extension cord, get the heavy duty extension cords that are capable of holding all that electricity in it. So again, reducing the risk of electrical fires. And then last but not least, open flames. Yes, they're beautiful. They create warmth. If you got a scented candle, there's nothing like the smell of a beautiful vanilla or pumpkin scented candle just, wafting through the house. But make sure that your lit candles are not left unattended and they are very clear of any kind of curtains or nearby decorations or any flammable materials. In fact, for me, I've not used an open flame candle since I had the kids because they're all over the place. But if you do want that feel, maybe get some battery powered candles. They are a great option. And now let's talk about accidents. and injuries. And they happen. Life happens. During the holiday season, at least for us, we know that also brings the cold and it brings the snow. And we want to always be careful to make sure that when that snow comes, that we go outside immediately and shovel it while it's light, because of course we wait a couple hours and the snow gets really heavy and it's a lot harder to shovel snow then, right? So you want to keep your walkways and your entryways free of snow, free of ice. In fact, I always keep one of those buckets of snow melt next to the front door in case it snows and you throw out that rock salt and it really gets rid of it very quickly and it prevents those slips and falls, especially going down the steps or going down pathways to the car. Sprinkle the path, make sure it's clear so that again, we don't have those slips and falls and you break something or crack something. Not good. An emergency kit. Always have a well-stocked emergency kit in your home. Of course, bandages, antiseptic, any necessary pain medications. Keep it available, know where it is, just in case. Childproofing. Yes, keep your holiday decorations, candles, small items away from the pets. If you have open outlets in your home, please remember to get those little plastic covers and cover those outlets because kids, they be kids and they can stick things into outlets and really get themselves in trouble. Proper lighting. We don't always think about it, but especially around those corners of the house where you've got those dark spots, try to install that bright outdoor lighting so that illuminate your pathways and your driveways so you reduce any kind of tripping hazards. And of course, you can always get some flashlights, keep them handy so that when you're walking out the door, especially if you have a dog and you're going to walk the dog, I always keep a couple of flashlights available. And then our smoke detectors and carbon monoxide detectors, make sure that they are working. Always check the batteries. You can press that button and make sure they're still working. The battery should be changed at least every 2 years. So that keeps us safe. Of course, if we're cooking and we do a lot more cooking during the holidays and the stuff gets in the oven and the smoke and you want to make sure that your home is safe. So carbon monoxide and smoke detectors. Always remember to check them around the house and have them placed in various spots as well. And now during the holiday season, that's when we tend to do a lot of traveling to visit our loved ones. Before you get on the road, you want to check your vehicle. Make sure that your car is winter ready with proper tires. Do you need to do an alignment? Are they snow ready tires? Is your gas tank full? And that's kind of important during the winter season when it gets super cold. Your gas should be at least a quarter tank full because the gas can sometimes, get freeze or get cold in there. Make sure your battery is charged. Make sure your vehicle is equipped with emergency supplies like a backup battery charger or having some connectors in case you need a jumper cables. Does your car have blankets? Does it have food? Does it have a flashlight? Before you get on the road, make sure you plan your route. Check your road conditions. Get on AccuWeather or weather.com along your route. Check to make sure that there's not a snowstorm coming, like in the next, 100 miles or something. Because then you might want to adjust the time that you leave. You may want to leave a little bit later, or you may want to leave a little bit earlier and avoid that snowstorm. Having an alternate route plan just in case of road closures or delays. make sure that you're planning ahead. And then drive safely in winter conditions. I'm originally from the islands. I know myself. I'm a great driver during the summer, but when the snow comes, I'm a different person. Drive differently in the snow. Make sure you slow down. Make sure that you're keeping a minimum distance behind the car in front of you. Make sure that your headlights are on whenever you have any kind of low visibility, any fog, any rain, any snow. That way, the person driving ahead of you can see you easily from behind. And then, yes, I already mentioned making sure your car is packed for emergencies. Make sure it has that first aid kit, that cell phone charger, maybe having that extra battery pack charger just in case your car shuts down. You have water, blankets in the car, extra snacks for the kids. You never know in the snow conditions, so be prepared. As you're driving, watch for black ice. It's very difficult to see black ice on the road. It can develop, especially, and you'll see the signs over bridges or overpasses or any shaded areas where there's no trees, and then that ice tends to freeze up. So you want to drive carefully, maybe slow down when you're hitting those potential black ice points, and then make sure you know how to handle it as well because the car will slip, the car will slide. And then you want to not do that instinctive braking on the car because you pump that brake suddenly and then you can spiral out of control. So maybe plan ahead, maybe make sure you're reading or you have some experience or get some knowledge on what to do if you're skidding while you're driving. And that will avoid a potential crash. And then avoid distractions. You want to be focused when you're driving, not be texting on your phone or sending emails, not be eating a big sandwich with one hand and a drink in the other. Where's the third hand? You don't got one. So always focus on the road, avoid or limit any kind of food distractions, having conversations with the kids. If anyone's arguing or shouting or even singing in the car, you always want to make sure that you, the driver, are completely focused. And if you are a passenger, your job is to make sure that that driver is able to be fully supported and focus on what they're doing. And then last but not least, maybe travel during daylight. During the day, you are more likely to see any kind of branches in the road, the deers or the bears that come running from the sides. Yes, I know it's rare, but it does happen. So you want to always be watchful for any kind of animals. Having visibility is key, having your headlights on during the nighttime, but during the daytime, it's a lot easier. So certainly travel conditions, preparation. If you are prepared, then you can avoid any of those pitfalls. And then now let's talk a bit about safety in the home. During the holidays, we do a lot of cooking. And of course, we want to always make sure, especially if you've got kids, that we are keeping watch of what is on the stove. So stay in the kitchen. Don't leave food unattended, especially when you are frying or grilling or broiling. A couple things could happen. Either it gets burned and then it can trigger the smoke alarm, which we are happy for. Or, certainly if you've got pots and you've got those handles, make sure the handles are turned so they're not hanging off the stove because if anyone is passing, they could knock a handle over on accident and then you can have a situation that you weren't expecting. Your food could be wasted or worse yet, someone can get significantly burned. So be mindful about what you're cooking, keep watch of it, and in the event that you have an accident, be prepared. And so yes, child safety in the kitchen. Keep the kids away from the kitchen when you're cooking. the hot stoves, the ovens, the knives, any sharp objects. There are some really wonderful gloves you can get online so if you're cutting food and it slices you by accident, that it won't cut you. Also, ironically, a sharp knife is your friend. So make sure your knives are sharpened, because the easiest way to have a cut when you are cutting is if you are using a knife that's not sharp enough, because a dull knife can actually slip off of the carrot or whatever you're cutting, and then you can cut yourself very easily. So keep your knives sharpened, but then always make sure that those knives are far and away from the kids. In fact, my mother-in-law would always put all of her bleach or any kind of toxic cleaners on the top shelf. So putting things in the top shelf of your cupboards so that the kids can't reach it, keeping knives really, really high or put away so they can't access it, is also a good thing to consider when you're thinking about kitchen safety. And then use timers and thermometers. Yes, they're your friend, because using a kitchen timer or using a thermometer above the timer is going to make sure that your food doesn't burn, so that it doesn't get overcooked. And certainly a thermometer is to make sure that that turkey or that chicken or that ham actually gets cooked to the temperature for safe eating. So, having those available and accessible this time of year, especially when we're doing all this holiday cooking, is important. And then, yes, keeping utensils organized, keeping them off of countertops, putting them away. And then last but not least, grease fires. So when we're cooking in the kitchen, especially if we're frying food, sometimes accidents can happen. So always make sure that you have a fire extinguisher available, maybe under the sink or in a closet, really within 10 feet of your stove. And remember, please, 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 if you have a grease fire, I know that we think first to throw water on it. No, no, water and grease do not mix. Throwing water on hot oil can actually make it flare up and explode. So instead, consider getting one of those fire department blankets that you can throw over that fire or throw over the grease, and that will contain it, or use a fire extinguisher. And make sure that you and everyone else in the house knows how to use that extinguisher, because we never know who's going to be around when that fire starts, or if that fire starts. So prepare, have a dry run, just like they do at school. Be prepared. And now I'm going to pass it over to Lanisha. Thank you.
So we know that this time of year is one of those times where we spend more time online. We like to shop online. I know that I get up in the middle of the night and the first thing I do is go to Amazon, right? And I'm looking, and I'm making sure that I can put stuff in my son's cart so I can purchase his Christmas presents. Well, guess what? When we're shopping online, we need to make sure that we're secure shopping online. So when you're online and you're shopping, make sure that the sites that you're on have either a lock up at the top in the address bar, or it says HTTPS. You want to make sure that your information is not getting out there for somebody to hack into your account, hack into your bank account, etc. We also want to avoid clicking on unknown links. So we're getting these, emails that say, 20% off, 50% off, free gift. No, don't do it. If you don't know who the sender is, do not click. Even if it appears that they're telling you something for the holidays, just do not do it. Your passwords. Make sure your passwords are unique and that they are strong. I know I like to have passwords that are the same for everything that I have because I forget them. But well, you know what I also do? Every year around this time, I go and change all of my passwords. So nobody can go and say, hey, she used this password last year. It's the same this year. Oops, nope, can't get in. My passwords change annually. So that's something you might want to do as well. But if you have an iPhone, they usually give you an option that says strong password and you can save it to your phone. So just make sure whatever you do, whatever option you take, that the password is a strong one and it's a unique one. And then keep your antivirus software updated. You may want to do it on an annual basis, but whatever you do, whether you use McAfee or Norton, make sure that all of your devices, your cell phones, your iPads, your laptops, your desktops are all updated with the latest antivirus software. And lastly, suspicious content. I just got a text message on my phone that said, it was supposedly from the post office, and it said that they're having a problem delivering my package, and I need to put in my address or put in my credit card number because I have to pay extra postage. No, I don't have any problems getting the bills that come to my house, so I shouldn't have a problem getting my mail and my packages. So just be careful of suspicious content that you're receiving, whether it's in email or through text messages. And now let's talk about spending some quality time with your family. Set specific times for digital activity. Well, I know it's hard because we spend a lot of time now online. But try to set times where you and your children, or you and your husband, or just the entire family are doing digital time, whether it's right after dinner, that's 7 to 8 or 6 to 7 time, whatever it is, try to calendar that time so it's the same time every day. Set parental controls to limit your children's screen time. That's good. That's a good thing to do. However, don't have a kid like mine that knows the code so that he can extend his time online. So just make sure you go and change your codes so that your kids, when they figure it out, they're not spending more time than you want them to spend. Plan group activities. So I would say at least once or twice a month, spend some time as a family. Whether you're going to the trampoline park, whether you're taking a walk around the neighborhood, schedule that time on your calendars. And I say on your calendars because I spend my life based on my calendar. And so I try to put everything on the calendar so I don't have any conflicts and nothing can take away from the time that I'm planning with my son. Encourage outdoor and offline games and activities. As I mentioned earlier, taking a walk, maybe doing a project in the house, something that you guys are doing together that is not online and that you're spending that quality time together. You're talking to each other. You're asking each other about your day. You're asking each other about things that you may want to do. What about planning your summer vacation or your winter break activities? Whatever it is, spend that time talking as a family, bonding as a family, and designate a device-free zone. I want to say designate a device-free time as well. So I would say dinner time. I know when I was growing up, I mean, we weren't into devices like we are now, but our family dinner time was a time where the TV was off. We didn't answer the home phone, and we just spent that time eating and enjoying each other. We told jokes. We, talked about the books that we were reading, whatever it was. So I would say in my household it's dinner time, but whatever time it is in your household, make sure that you schedule that time, that everyone in the family is in agreement that that is the time that you won't have devices. That is the time that you won't answer the phone. That is the time that you're putting everything on D&D, do not disturb, so that no one can break through. And lastly, reflect on your personal screen usage. So I get something every week that says, hey, you spent this much time online, you did this much time, doing this or that. And I make a conscious effort of trying to decrease my time on the screen. Make sure you're looking at those things for your family, not just for yourself, especially your kids, because we want to teach them ourselves. We don't want our devices to teach them. And now I will turn it over to Faith to talk about crafts and DIY projects.
Thank you, Dr. Lanisha. Creative holiday crafts and DIY projects. Who doesn't love a DIY do-it-yourself project? These creative holiday crafts and DIY projects can become a tradition and add joy to your holiday season. Make DIY holiday cards to send to friends and family. Craft paper snowflakes or garlands for festive decor. Create homemade candles or potpourri for unique gifts. Build and decorate gingerbread houses as a family. Design your own tree ornaments or stockings using recycled materials. Or paint holiday-themed rocks to decorate your garden or gift as keepsakes. For our families, plan ahead. Create a family calendar. Mark key dates for events, school activities, and travel to avoid double booking. Pace commitments. Space out holiday activities to ensure downtime and avoid exhaustion. Meal prep in advance. Plan menus and prep meals or desserts ahead of time to reduce last-minute cooking stress. Budget money wisely. Manage gifts and shopping. Make a gift list. Write down who you're shopping for and stick to the list to prevent overspending or last-minute panic. Shop early. Take advantage of sales or online shopping to reduce crowds and stress. Use delivery services, such as Amazon Prime. Save time and effort by ordering gifts online or through local delivery options. Set a spending limit. Plan for expenses like gifts, travel, and meals to avoid financial stress. Use holiday savings tools. Allocate a specific amount each month, each week leading up to the holidays. And DIY gifts. Incorporate homemade presents or experiences to save money while adding a personal touch. Check on your loved ones. Friends or family who are alone, the holidays can be difficult and lonely. Reach out, call or visit, or make plans to just meet up. Spend time with the elderly. Consider setting up some form of life alert system in the event of an emergency. And practice self-care. Make time for relaxation and self-care activities. Find what you like to do that helps you to reset and replenish. And set boundaries to avoid and prevent burnout. Maintain routines. Stick to regular meal, sleep, and exercise schedules to keep energy levels steady. Schedule breaks. Plan intentional moments for relaxation or quiet family time amidst the busy season. And embrace flexibility. Accept that not everything will go as planned and be open to adapting to change. A flexible mindset helps maintain joy and reduce frustration. Most of all, involve everyone. Delegate tasks. Assign age-appropriate roles to family members like decorating, gift wrapping, or setting the table. And group planning. Have regular family check-ins to ensure everyone is on the same page and feels included. Students. As winter break approaches, students keep these things in mind. Dress appropriately for the weather. Manage time effectively. Create a study schedule to balance schoolwork and holiday activities from multiple cultural perspectives. Use tools like planners or apps to stay organized. Stay healthy. Get plenty of sleep and eat nutritious meals from different places. Exercise regularly to manage stress. Social connections. Stay connected with friends and family. Join holiday events or activities that celebrate various traditions. And don't isolate yourself this holiday season. Find something to do and somewhere to go that's positive and safe. Educators. Create a calm and inclusive classroom environment. Acknowledge diversity. Recognize and celebrate the diverse cultures, traditions, and holidays that your students observe. This helps all students feel seen and valued. Inclusive decorations. Decorate classrooms with a variety of symbols and decorations that represent different holidays and cultures. This creates a festive atmosphere that respects and includes everyone. Educate about different holidays. Take the opportunity to teach students about various holidays and other cultural practices. This can promote understanding and appreciation of diversity. Earlier, Ms. Kim was explaining the different holidays, such as Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, Los Pasatos. Respect and sensitivity. Be mindful of students who may not celebrate holidays for religious or personal reasons. Create activities that everyone can participate in without feeling excluded or uncomfortable. Inclusive language. Use inclusive language in your holiday greetings and communications. Instead of saying Merry Christmas, you might say Happy Holidays to encompass all celebrations. And be mindful of celebrations. Plan holiday activities that are inclusive and consider the diverse meals, needs, and preferences of your students. Avoid activities that may just alienate or exclude any group. And communicate with parents. Send updates about holiday events and activities, highlighting inclusion. Offer tips for managing holiday stress at home, considering various culture practices. Take care of yourself. Limit work-related activities by setting boundaries, digital detox, indulging in hobbies, and healthy eating. And communities. Organize community events. Plan inclusive events for all members. Encourage volunteerism to support those in need. Promote health and wellness. Offer community fitness classes or wellness workshops. Provide resources for mental health support and think inclusivity. Create opportunities for community members to interact and support local businesses and organizations. And now, Ms. Jeanette will provide us with all helpful resources for surviving the holiday season.
Thank you, Faith. That was really some great information. So let's talk about a few of these resources. We talked a lot about some strategies and tips, but oftentimes we want to know what are our resources, what is available for us. So in terms of free parking for the holidays, think about connecting to your community events and programs because most towns either host or free, either host or provide free or low-cost holiday events, which oftentimes can help families enjoy festive activities without overspending because, everyone has different budget limits, right? Also, check your township websites for local libraries who also offer a range of opportunities. We also address a little bit about safeguarding our emotional health, our mental health. And as I said earlier before, this can be the most wonderful time of the year, but it also can be very daunting for a lot of families. It also creates a lot of sadness and it's triggering. The holidays could be triggering. And if you're noticing that in yourself, or you're noticing that in someone that you care about or a loved one, there's always a resource to support you. That you have a crisis support, which is the 988. You can call that number, you can text to connect with trained counselors. They're available 24/7. This is a national service and it provides support for those who find themselves in distress at any given time. And these services are designed to address diverse needs. They include crisis intervention, ongoing emotional support, if that's something that you require, and connections to your own community resources. Also, for those families who are in need, there are toy giveaways. And so for Toys for Tots, that's the U.S. Marine Corps, they sponsor the program and they offer free toys to children in need. We know that there are families in Ocean County, for example, that they can apply with their local coordinators for the northern or southern regions. But I would encourage you to connect to those community-based organizations who oftentimes have toy drives, who get the community together to give out those the toys to families in need. Also, the federally qualified health centers also do quite a bit when it comes to giving packages to families, toy drive, especially for those families in need. You can also call 211 or visit the Holiday Assistant Program page for the local resources. Just remember, some of these organizations often have an application process and there's deadlines, so there will be some specific eligibility criteria. So it's best to contact them as soon as possible. Now, get to one of the best parts, right? So we have some upcoming exciting events. The first that I want to highlight is our statewide parent advisory committee. We're excited because this is an opportunity for you to make a difference in our community by joining our statewide parent advisory committee. This committee plays a crucial role in shaping our programs and initiatives and ensuring that we meet the needs of all families. And so why join the parent advisory committee? And I recognize maybe some of you are on many advisories right now, and some of you may know that you know the benefit, right, of being an advisory. But for those who don't, you'll be able to voice your ideas, share your valuable insights and perspectives to help us improve our services. You'll be able to collaborate and work alongside other dedicated parents, professionals to create that positive change. And you'll have a direct impact on the decisions that affect your child's education and well-being. So if this is something that speaks to your heart and you want to express an interest, we encourage you to scan the QR code. I know it's relatively small, but I'm going to ask Tara to put in our website link because you can also access the application on our website. It's the first, it'll populate, it'll be the first message that populates and it'll put you right into the application. And so we encourage you, if it's something that you were thinking about or you're finding a space, we encourage you to apply. And also, we're excited for our upcoming webinar next month. This, as you know, this is our last webinar of the year. And next month, we're going to be focusing on enhancing your mental health through family engagement. And that will be January 14th. In order to register, just scan the QR code that you see on the screen to register for our upcoming webinar. And as always, thank you so much for joining us today. We invite you to scan the QR code. I know we're asking you to scan a lot of things today, but we, as you know, this is very important to us because without your feedback and filling out the survey, we're not going to be able to continue to be bringing you this content to you. We feel that is very useful. If you'd like to receive a certificate for your participation in today's webinar, you do have an option to choose either yes or no when filling out the survey. It's our hope here at the Hub that you gained insights and strategies that were shared today, that it has been of value to you, and that you share the work and that we're doing and our website information. Just remember, take care of yourselves. It's just as important as the work that you do for others. From all of us here at the Hub, we wish you a joyous and restful holiday season, and we look forward to reconnecting with you in the new year, ready to embrace new opportunities together. Happy holidays. We'll see you in 2025.